Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own fermented hot sauce along with an instant fire cider. So let's talk about hot sauce first. So over the summer, we had a little garden here in our yard and we have some raised beds, and this is the first time that I actually got a successful crop of hot chili peppers. I live in New England and our growing period is not that long and it's not really that well suited for chili peppers, but this year I actually was able to harvest a crop, and by the end of fall I got a good little harvest, a nice bowl of them. I would say maybe a pound of Thai bird's eye kind of chilies. And I thought, what am I going to do with all of these? Why not make some hot sauce? So it takes a couple weeks for the peppers to ferment and age enough that you get a tasty sauce, so you still have enough time to get this done for the holidays. So here's my jar of chili peppers. This has actually been going closer to about 4 weeks. That's why this is all cloudy, but I've been assured that this is fine. And let me walk you through the steps of how I got to this stage. You're gonna take about a pound of chili peppers, any kind you like. You can use jalapeno peppers, you can use bird's eye chili, habanero, whatever kind of pepper you'd like. Wash them, and then you're going to cut them into pieces. And depending on the type of chili you're using, you might want to wear some gloves to kind of protect your skin and your eyes. So the inspiration for this recipe came from this amazing book called The Art of Fermentation by Sandor Ellis Katz. If you're at all interested in fermenting anything, this book is really great. It's less about recipes, but just more a compendium of different types of fermentation found all over the world and even throughout history. So very, very interesting. It's a great little spot to start if you're at all interested in fermenting. Sandor talks a little bit about making hot pepper sauces, and what he recommends is a 2% brine. Now when it comes to pickling and brining, getting the right amount of salt is pretty important. So 2% brine by weight would be 20 grams of salt to 1,000 grams of water. So place your chopped up chilies in a nice clean quart-sized jar and add any aromatics you'd like. I added a couple cloves of crushed garlic. You could add thyme, you could add onions, you could add whatever you like to kind of infuse your hot sauce with more flavor. So once you've got that all in there, then you're going to add your 2% brine. So top that up. So the chilies will want to float up, and we want to press them down so they stay below the brine so they're not exposed to any air. If they're exposed to air, you could get mold growth. So we don't want that to happen. To keep the chilies submerged, I took a plastic bag and I added some water to it and used that as a weight. This didn't actually work all that well for me, and a couple days later I removed that bag. So the technique I finally ended up using was taking an onion and just removing the outside layers of the onion and using that kind of as a press to press the little bits of pepper and keep them underneath the surface of the water. Then you need to weight it. So instead of using a Ziploc bag, I used one of these, and this is a pickling weight. It's a piece of ceramic that's glazed. You can also use a very clean rock. They also sell glass versions of these, but you don't want to use anything metal because you don't want it to react with the salt. So I placed that right on top of my onions, and that kept everything under the brine water. Now take your vessel, put it on a plate, and put your lid loosely on there because more CO2 gas is going to be created and you want it to escape. Now you're going to place this in a dark spot and allow this to ferment. A minimum of 10 days, 2 weeks is better. I went as long as 4 weeks. 3 weeks is probably optimal. After that, you can place it in the refrigerator to kind of slow things down. It will continue to ferment, but much slower at a cooler temperature. Take my weight out, and I'm going to pour all of my chili peppers through a strainer. Look at that. So I have this beast of a machine. You can certainly just use a plain old blender. It might be a little bit chunkier in consistency or thicker in consistency. If you want it finer, you can always press it through a sieve to get any of the big chunks out. This is the first time I've used this machine, and I've heard good things about these. Dump this in here. Okay, so on. And I'm gonna increase the speed a bit. Oh wow, this is great. So this machine comes with this little muddler, and you can use that to move things around. So I'm gonna add a little bit of brine to help coax things a bit. Oh, there it goes. I'm gonna increase the speed. That's it. I've got hot sauce. Look at that beautiful color. Amazing. I'm sold on the Vitamix. That's incredible. Look at that. Okay, let's pour it into a container. So this would be a great time to have some cute little hot sauce bottles available, and if you give this as a gift, that would be appropriate. But since I'm just making a big batch for myself, I'm just gonna pour it into this clean container here. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Look at this color. It is so intense. So beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Yes. I got myself a chip. Let's give this a taste. Oh my gosh, that color is so beautiful. All right, homemade hot sauce. Itadakimasu. Oh boy. That is spicy. Woo. It's almost got kind of a lemony flavor to it. Tangy, but kind of almost citrusy. That's good. I think it could use a little bit more garlic. If you make this, add an extra clove of garlic. Pretty stinking good. There you have it, homemade hot sauce. Bottle it up, give it with love. I love consumable gifts. One of my favorite kinds of gifts to both receive and to give. Yum. Now moving on to recipe number 2. I'm gonna be making some instant fire cider. Now, what is fire cider? Fire cider is a folk remedy that's made with primarily apple cider vinegar that has other ingredients infused in it. And it's supposed to boost your immune system. It's supposed to combat colds. It's supposed to be just a good kind of tonic. It's mostly apple cider vinegar, but it's infused with things like hot chili peppers, garlic, ginger, lemon juice, all kinds of things to kind of stimulate your immune system. Or so that's what it says. So to make the fire cider, you just take all of those ingredients and allow them to sit for about 2 to 4 weeks to allow all of the aromatics to kind of soak into the apple cider vinegar. My version that I'm going to be making today is an instant version. I did some fermenting already in this chili sauce, but I'm going to use the chili sauce instead of using fresh chilies in my fire cider. This is a glass jar and this is about 20 ounces. To begin with, I'm going to use some of my fermented hot sauce. An equal amount of grated ginger. This is fresh grated ginger. Next, an equal amount of grated onion. Isn't this unusual? You can apparently buy this stuff, but it's pretty expensive. It also contains horseradish. Instead of grating fresh horseradish, which I couldn't find, I'm gonna use a little bit of prepared horseradish, and I'm gonna use 2 big teaspoons of that. Now I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And this is a tiny spoon, so I'm gonna add 2 of those. Now I'm gonna add 1 clove of garlic, and I'm gonna press that. And this is 1 huge clove, and I just cut it in half. It won't fit in my press otherwise. So 1, 2. Now I'm gonna add the juice of 1 lemon along with the zest. So that's just the outside yellow portion of the lemon. I washed it and then I used a microplane and shaved off the zest. Now I'm gonna add the juice. Next, we're gonna sweeten things up with a little bit of honey. This is honey from my own hives. If you didn't know already, I am a beekeeper, and I actually have another channel where I've recorded all of my beekeeping adventures for the last 3 seasons, so check that out if you're interested. We're gonna add, let's start with a good tablespoon of that, and then we can always add more if we are so inclined. Oh man, so good. Here is our little concoction. Now we're going to top things off with apple cider vinegar. Now this is raw apple cider vinegar. This actually contains the mother. You can see that on the bottom. Shake this up really well, and now we're just going to top this off. Oh yes, I feel like a little witch. Look at that color. Gorgeous. And my fire cider is ready. Okay, let's give this a taste. So this is consumed as an immune tonic in about 1 to 2 tablespoon servings. So I'm gonna just strain off that amount into a glass and let you know what I think of it. Look at that color, isn't that amazing? So there's my little brew. Fire cider, bottoms up. Cheers. Ooh, I like that. Wow, that's great. It's really acidic, it's oniony and garlicky, so it's really savory. It tastes like salsa in that way, but it's fiery going down. Oh, I love it. I love it. It really does kind of pep you up and make you feel kind of alive, and you're like, oh, you feel like a dragon. Wow, that's cool. Fire cider. I like it. That's gonna be my new little morning tonic. Again, this is all kind of anecdotal in terms of what it actually does. Alrighty, so there you have it. Homemade fire cider and homemade hot sauce. So satisfying making stuff for myself. I love it. Let me know down in the comments below if you've ever made hot sauce before, if you have a favorite recipe. I'm all ears. Now that I've got the hot sauce bug going, I'm definitely going to be making more hot sauces because I love them. I have whole shelves in my refrigerator full of hot sauce because I can't seem to get enough. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye!